I've shared some words with Rico before, and me and Sis actually talked back and forth for a while on Instagram, and she was like, she was open to do it. She was like, of course. And so, Rico was too, but like you said, I feel like that's one of those things, it'll happen when it happens. I feel like with those, I don't want to send an open verse. I want to like get in the studio. Like,
I need a beam. I just want a beam. I am not a blogger, but I'm a deli chief.
Yeah, how's today? How's everything for you?
I have so much anxiety because my project drops on Friday. I'm like so excited and I'm nervous and yeah.
Going through the motions of it as you should. It's your art. It's your baby. It's going to be a little nerve-wracking, if you will.
Yeah.
But what's a day for you like? What's whether you're working or whether you're just kind of hanging out, what's waking up, what do you start with?
Usually I have my daughters, so we wake up, we get ready, we eat breakfast, take her to daycare. Sometimes I may come back home and like sleep like 2 extra hours because having a kid is like
it's a little extra.
Sometimes. Yeah, or usually like this is my studio room here, so I'll come in here, record a bit, eat, clean up, do some laundry, then go pick her up, go to the park, come back home, playing makeup, fix dinner, watch TV, put her to sleep, and then I'll come back in here and try to make some music while she sleeps. So that's pretty much my day. In between that and like going to the gym, doing interviews, conference calls, trying to get my merch right, just future planning.
Right, for sure. So she's obviously a huge motivating factor. How old is she?
5.
So is she aware of everything that's going on?
Oh yeah, like she knows I make music. She knows I travel. She knows, she knows that, mommy's a big star. It's so funny because when we get in the car, sometimes I'll play like other people's music and she'll be like, can you play your music? And she'll sing a song. And like one time I was out of town and her dad texted me and he was like, can you send me this song? Because she keeps asking about it. And he's like, she's sung it, but she didn't have the words right. And it was just so cute. Like, oh, wow, she actually knows the words to my song. So, yeah, she'll let me know when I got a hit and when it's like, oh, it's good.
So she's the best A&R. She's the new A&R for South Coast, huh? That's fire. Are there songs that she has heard off the new project that she like really gravitates to that you kind of say like, okay, this might be the one?
Oh, yeah. The song Pancake she likes a lot. It's a song on there called Hotel Mink. She likes that a lot. You Knew, she loves that song. And she loves the first one, too. She just really likes the ad-libs.
Okay.
Yeah.
So other than your daughter, is there a place specifically that brings you peace? Is that room where you find a lot of peace?
Here, and I usually hang out with my best friend is Bosch, which he's done a few videos for me. He does most of my photo shoots. Going over to his house because, sometimes you have different energies in your house or you just kind of get tired of being in your own space. So when I go over there, it's just a whole different vibration. And it's like not even just peace. I just feel more like just more in tune with just being goofy and just like artistic wise. His space is definitely a second like home to me.
Is that a big place where, 34 came up? That's where you guys were really piecing together that project?
So I mostly did the project here in this room, and then at my old place, I was doing a lot of it in my apartment, in my living room. But there, where he is, that's where we did a lot of my photo shoots at. Okay. So like it was just, and I did some of my videos there before. So it's just like you said, a place of shared creativity of just like this whole process.
Okay.
So
what has changed since like last May for you as far as life, as far as creativity? When you think back on times like that, obviously you should be very proud of yourself, but is there anything that like stuck out in your mind that you're like, wow, I overcame that. That's like a motivating factor from here on out?
Yeah. So let's start with the first one. What's changed is definitely my sound. And working with different types of beats, just branching off and not just doing like something like I used to be so stuck on like, oh, I just really like melodic 808s and like Uzi type Pierre Bourne stuff. And then I started to branch out and doing mosh pit music and like rock music and I don't know what you call it. You've heard of 070 Shake?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like doing stuff like that. So I've crossed over and now I'm branching out and just getting more comfortable with just doing more sounds. And now it's fun to me. It's not like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. It's like, okay, let's just try that. I used to not be able to record with a lot of people in the room because I was so used to just like it being myself because I engineer myself. And wow. I've overcome that. Yeah, so the whole 34 Corine project and this deluxe, majority of it, I recorded myself. I didn't mix it, but I recorded myself.
That's it.
Yeah. So now the thing that I've overcome is I can now record with other people in the room. At first, it made me like really nervous and like just pressure, like, oh, I gotta come up with some hot shit or they're gonna think I suck, like, you know.
Right. It's unneeded pressure at times, but now you feel like you've come into it where it's not a big deal anymore.
Yeah, I can just like, I know how to zone out now and just be like, okay, just do your thing.
It's work. It's your job. It's what you're meant to do. Do you think that music is really the gift? That was what you were brought to do here?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, just naturally, I have that personality. And when I step in the room, everybody just gravitates toward me. And it doesn't matter what type of person you are. And a lot of people can just feel what I'm putting out through my music. And they're like, oh, it just makes me feel better. It's just feel good music. And I just relate. And just, I really think that that's what I was supposed to do because since a kid, I've just been musically inclined, just off the rip and not something that I pushed to do. It was just always there.
Right. What music did you grow up on? What was kind of played around your childhood?
Yeah, so my mom, she played a lot of like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, like rock, pop, you know, Queen, stuff like that. And then my dad would play like Sugar Hill Gang, Run DMC, A Tribe Called Quest, like, you know, Genuine, Usher, Michael Jackson. So I had a really good mixture of just both sides of the culture of music, I feel like. So that's kind of where I get my sound from. I feel like I'm well-rounded, and that's why I may, I guess, like, go to certain sounds and instruments because they sound familiar to me. And I use kind of like that old, like a lot of people say you have an old school flow, but it's like pop and still new school. And so I think because I listen to both of those types of music, that my music is so universal that older people like it and younger people like it.
I think your flow is very approachable. It's your music is definitely experimental, but it's very easy to digest as well.
Right.
To a wide variety of like palettes. And I think that's the big reason why you're kind of having this shining moment. It's only going to be elevated on Friday. But the biggest thing that in my eyes right now might be that Kenny feature or that Kenny placement. How'd you meet Kenny?
It was crazy. So at this time, Rico and SZA were shouting me out like heavy, you know, like playing me on their Instagrams and just putting me into articles and stuff. And then so he DM'd me and was like, yo, can I make a song with you? And I was like, of course. And I was like, so like, how do you do it? Do you send beats? He's like, nah, I usually don't send beats. Like, are you out in LA? And I'm like, no, I'm in North Carolina. I'm all the way out here in Winston-Salem. He's like, well, when you come out here, you know, let's get a session in. So I was like, fuck that. I'm about to book a ticket now. I was like, I'm coming now.
Right.
So I went out there, and the first place he took me to was the same building where he does the cave. Okay. And I was like,
wow.
Holy energy. Because I never knew anything about the cave, but it was like 3 days before he hit me up. My boyfriend was at the time, he was like showing videos of the cave, like one of the episodes, I think Lil TJ was on it. And I was like, yo, this is so cool. So when I walk in, I'm like, wait, is that am I in the cave? And he's like, it was only right. And I was like, what? So I was like, this is so much pressure right now. Like, if I do not produce a banger, like I have to just quit. I don't know. I mean, I went in and I made the fastest song. Like, I usually take a while sometimes to record. I made that song like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Yeah, and it was just like, he was like, wow, you just proved you're not a one-hit wonder. Like, this shit's going up. Like, this shit's crazy.
I remember when I saw the snippet, which is just the radio in the car. I remember that day when I heard that shit, I was like, yo, this is kind of crazy. Because this moment with snippets, it's such a marketing like moment for people. But like, I think like Jared sent me the video. The video's unreal. I love it. I've heard the whole song. It's amazing. It's so great. It's unreal. Hearing that snippet and then having that translate to a good end product is a completely different thing. And I think you did that. Yeah. I think you did that.
I was worried about that.
A lot of people
because
should.
It happens.
People should.
You some people do a snippet and you're like, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so hard. And then you hear the whole song and you're like, I mean, okay. Like, it kind of is a little disappointing. So I was, right. To me, I'm like, this is hard. But, to everybody else, I'm like, damn, I hope that I don't get that effect. Like,
For sure. Have SZA and Rika reached out since to do any music? Or is that kind of just like, well, it'll happen when it happens type deal?
Yeah, I feel like it'll happen when it happens. I've shared some words with Rico before, and me and SZA actually talked back and forth for a while on Instagram, and she was like, she was open to do it. She was like, of course. And so, Rico was too, but like you said, I feel like that's one of those things, it'll happen when it happens. I feel like with those, I don't want to send an open verse. I want to get in the studio, like,
right.
It's one of those things.
Definite moment for you guys, for sure.
Exactly.
Is production in your repertoire? Do you make any beats or did you play any instruments when you were growing up?
So I started off playing the flute in the 6th grade, and then I loved it. And so I played it all the way into high school, like, in band in school and stuff. And then, like, my junior year, I took a piano class at school. And so I played that junior and senior year, and I loved it, like, because piano and flute are similar, like the notes, they're just upside down. So I already knew how to read music. So I was like, okay, you got that out the way. Right. And I just picked it up. I just like, damn, I love this. And then I tried to pick up a guitar, but it's so hard. I don't know my fingers are meant to do that. But I do.
Your mind has to be like in so many different places too at the same time with the strumming. And then when people throw the little like percussion where they're hitting the guitar, that shit's nuts. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. But like my fingers, I feel like I'm getting arthritis. Like I'll be like, oh, how do you hold this and this? It's like,
right.
What?
And then you're getting all the calluses from just sliding up and down. I got to chill with my hand motions. That's a little crazy right now. But
yeah.
You got crazy calluses on your hands if you're a really good guitar player, for sure.
Yeah. And I'm a girl, so I'm cool on that.
Trying to be all. No, everybody. I feel like everybody should keep their hands nice and neat nowadays. So. Are there places?
But I do co-produce. I mean, sorry, I didn't answer your question.
Go ahead.
But I do co-produce. A lot of the times when we're like making beats together, I'll be like, okay, I hear this sound, and like I'll paint a picture, and I'll be like, no, do this, and like try to add this. So I do a lot of co-production. Yeah.
Are you doing that for other artists, or is that just for beats that you would want to work on?
Pretty much just for beats that I want to work on. I'm open to do that for other artists. I think just most of the time I'm, a lot of times focused on myself. But if it ever came to that point where they're like, hey, can you help me? A lot of artists reach out to me, ask me for help, like, oh, what, this and that. So, yeah, I'm definitely down to help.
Right.
That'd be cool.
What are some inspirations as far as producers and artists? Who are some people that, maybe the fans wouldn't expect for you to love?
So I really love Tyler, Creator. Like, he just inspires me to just, like, do what I want to do. He's just so, like...
Fire.
Yeah, he's just, like, that's all you can say. He's just fire all the way around. So him, Pierre Bourne, I feel like he's so slept on. Like, he's just so amazing to me. Like, him. Like, both of them, I'm just like, wow. Of course, I love SZA. Right. And I really just started listening to 070 Shake, and she is inspiring the heck out of me right now. Like, she is nuts.
She's mad.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What does North Carolina mean to you? Is that something that you're gonna are you gonna stay there? Are you gonna always have a crib there, or is it you're gonna move out when the job takes you wherever?
North Carolina is just like my little safe haven. Like, this is where all this stuff started and just where I curated everything. So, I probably would have a house out here that I like build, like a family house, just like all out in the country, whatever. But I plan to have soon at least like some type of spot in LA and some type of spot in Atlanta. Wow. But I definitely, the more I got to LA, the more I could see myself living there. But it's like permanently, no. But if I needed to be out here for a month, cool. Yeah.
What are some things in the industry that piss you off?
Fucking producers. Bitch ass producers. That's the shit that pisses me off. They act like girls and it's so ridiculous. Like, and just not being like all the way famous yet. So like people just have this like celebrity leverage over you. It's like, oh, if you don't do what I say so, or, just the Hollywood shit. Like if you don't do what I like or you don't agree to this, then I'm just going to ignore you and cut you off and be like, oh, you can't have this beat then. It's just like, petty high school shit. I hate that.
You wouldn't expect them to do, but it's mad disappointing when they do it.
Crazy. Like I've had my songs deleted, like files, like 6 files, and be like, oh, they just weren't here. Like, okay, trying to sue me.
Well, I think Friday will be a big celebration.
Hell yeah.
To everybody who didn't put the shit through to where you put it through too. So
and don't try to fuck with me when shit's up. That's all I know. It's over for your ass.
Don't play with her.
If it's your last day on Earth, what are you doing?
Oh, fuck.
Oh, sorry. I know. I got heavy. It got heavy.
Damn, because if I don't say something about my daughter, everybody's going to be like, what the fuck?
Well, that's what I was expecting. I was like, that's kind of going to be the first one.
Yeah, I'd probably just be with my mom and my daughter, like, for real. Just be in my family, like, because I always think about that, like, oh my gosh, what if I lose my mom? Like, I just can't fathom that, you know what I mean? So, like, It have to be, like, those are my girls. So, being with my mom and my daughter, just like, I don't know, eating ice cream or something.
You're not going the wrong direction with that one.
Right.
For sure not.
I'm saying I'm not getting canceled.
Exactly. Fingers crossed. Is there anything you want to say to fans, supporters, family, any shout outs? That's what this time is for.
I want to shout out everybody in Winston-Salem, anybody that's ever supported me. Shout out to SCMG. Shout out to all the artists that have supported me, my friends, my mom and my dad for helping out with my daughter when I got to go somewhere for a whole week because she can be a handful. My shout out to her dad for being there. And I want to tell everybody don't say my supporters and just my friends and just everybody in the whole wide world that you can do it. Anything that you want to do, it's possible. Don't let anyone tell that you can't do it. People told me that I couldn't be a mom and work and rap, but I did that shit and I graduated top of my class. You can do anything you want to do. Don't let anyone tell you different and have a vision for yourself. Stick with that vision. If it doesn't go how you want, there's other paths to get to where you want to go. So don't give up.